Andreas here at Zauberberg Kennels. I want to talk to you about important things to think of when clicker training. For number one, never break the promise, the connection between the click and the treat. If you ever click at the wrong moment, you have to follow up with the treat. If you don't, the clicker will not have the reliable information that you want it to have. Does that make sense? Because we see a lot of people, they click and don't treat, so therefore the association between the click and the treat is kind of questionable. But what they always do is, before they click even, they reach into their pocket to get the treat ready. So that being said, that is a sure association, because it happens reliably every time before he gets the click and the treat. If the click is not a definite or 100% associated with the treat every time, you will make that connection loose. If you have anything else as a piece of information reliable for your dog, then he'll rather watch this as the information that the treat is coming. Number two, when you condition the clicker, making an association that the click always precedes the treat coming, therefore getting the marking meaning of it, you should make sure that he does not do any behavior multiple times or in a row at least that you click for during that conditioning process. If you do, let's say they offer a sit, very likely, because it has been reinforced from whenever they hit the milk bar, and they try that and you click and treat and you do that 5, 6, 7 times in a row, then you take a chance that the click actually gets to be a cue or a command that sitting is now worthwhile doing. So make sure that you catch him running around, you click and treat. He sits, you click and treat. He turns around, you click and treat. He walks away from you, you click and treat. Whatever, until he actually does not really pay attention to you and you click and he orients himself to the click. He should orient himself to the click, but only for the reason that he has understood that now the food will be provided by you, the treat, the ball, whatever you do as a reward. It's not, the click is not, should not ever gain a signalizing meaning that a specific behavior now is worthwhile doing. Don't think that the click makes the dog come to you. The click, once associated, makes him automatically come to you because he has to obtain his reward from you. So don't use it as a command. It needs to be the marker that identifies the moment that he did something right that he will now receive the reward for. During the conditioning process of the click, just to make that association between click and treat is coming, you don't want to fuse the click and the appearance of the treat too close. Fusing means, in my opinion, two things happen almost at the same time. If you do, then the click will not really be recognized. So always make sure during the conditioning process that you click, pause, food is coming. That way he can associate it as, I want to compare it with maybe the weather forecast. So not the weather report. Weather report is never important. If you look out the window and it rains and they say in the report, oh, it's raining, it's kind of worthless. But the weather forecast always happens before the weather happens. Unfortunately, in real life, the weather forecast is not really reliable, but we should be reliable in the information we give to our dog. So always make sure click precedes definitely the appearance of the treat, that he can understand it's an announcement, now it's coming, and not, oh, it's already coming, so he doesn't pick up on the noise really good. Another tip is, when we have a session of, let's say, 10-15 clicks during the association process between the clicker and the food coming, make sure that you don't get into a rhythm. Click, feed, click, feed, click, feed. Don't do that. In order to get magnificence to the click itself, you should have different durations of time lapsing between the clicks. You click and treat. 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 So the click is not something that automatically appears at a certain duration of time, or sequence I should say, because therefore you'll just teach him the rhythm but not really make an association of the noise being the announcement for treat is coming. Another good hint is that we should just carefully try how the dog responds to the click, or not respond to the click, but when we start making an association for the first time, that we might want to put the clicker with the hand in our pocket and click in our pocket, not to have that overwhelming sound. For some small dogs especially, we see, they startle when they hear the click for the first time, and of course that kind of feeling you don't want to create. So have it in your pocket and make sure that the dog is not shocked by the appearance of a noise that he never heard before, and damp it a little bit. And once he's fine with that, take it behind your back, and then you can click away pretty much once he has made the positive association with the strange brand new noise. Another hint about clicker training and working with treat reward is, for number one, choose a treat that the dog goes nuts about like nothing else. It is proven fact that the more value the reward has, the faster and better training happens for you. Make sure that those treats that he likes most are also treats that are easy to swallow. We don't want the dog, after one repetition, clicking and treating, chew for about 20 seconds, and we have to wait for the next repetition to happen. We want to develop fluency. That means that a behavior happens over and over and over again until we put the cue to it. And therefore, fluency means that it happens over and over in very short periods of time, lots of repetitions. So make sure it's easy to swallow and he's ready for the next one. Also, we recommend that reward is compared with the slot machine at the casino, which in the beginning stages we want to reward continuously. That means every behavior is rewarded. But what I'm getting at is that we might want to give different amounts of treats every repetition to not get too boring in the process of shaping behaviors or any kind of training we do with that. So give him 1, give him 5, give him 1, give him 3, that kind of thing. So he never knows how much he has coming, and therefore he keeps very interested in the whole process. Last not least, important advice is don't make the training situation, or if you do and you think it helps you training in the beginning, that's something to be considered. But later on, when you really take the dog out and train in real life situations, let's say, or around the house, make sure that the training is not identified by anything. Like we hear a lot, he does everything when I have the clicker in my hand. Yeah, because he has learned that once you have the clicker in your hand, things are possibly worthwhile doing. The same with a treat pouch. The treat pouch on your belt or present, you get the treat pouch out, he's all hot to go. He doesn't see the treat pouch, nothing is going to happen because you have not the wallet in your hand. So make sure that you hold the treat pouch, you go for a walk with the treat pouch, you go for a walk with the clicker in your hand, and nothing happens. Nothing. That way, if you mix it up like that, that way you will not provide the information or set signals that you might not want to set. Because at the end, maybe you want the dog to listen without the treat pouch, maybe you have the treats in your pocket, hidden, and you get away from the clicker, because later on, once behaviors are established, even on cue, the clicker is not necessary anymore. So I can just feed him and he still understands what the behavior or what the treat was really given for, what the reward was given for. So make sure that you don't put these signals into informational value of now it's worthwhile doing and now it's not. Dropping the treat on the floor, even after the click, is something we really like to prevent. There's dogs that knock the treats out of your hands. They have developed the technique, and the treats are on the ground, and especially in grass or wherever you are where the food has some cover possibly, and he has to search for the treat. What's going to happen is that dogs are rewarded, big part, clicker or not, for whatever they did right before they engaged into the reward. That being said, if we drop treats on the floor even after the click and he sniffs extensively, he has to sniff to find the treats, then partially he will feel rewarded for sniffing the ground. And you will see that even if dogs in our videos think, oh, he dropped some on the ground, he is searching for it because it has been rewarded automatically or accidentally during the training process if we don't make sure that he does not get rewarded for sniffing on the ground. So if the treat drops, just step on it with your foot, continue with your lesson, put your hand over it, or pick it up. Don't, or try to prevent, at least as hard as you can, to have that process taking place, that you drop some treats and the dog is searching for it and he of course finds it and is rewarded for sniffing. It'll unbalance your whole training process. So I hope that these pieces of advice will help you in the future. It's something that we talk about over and over again in training sessions as really valuable tips of how to do or what not to do. And good luck with the process.